Welcome back to another episode of Queen Convos, Life Goals for the Queen in You podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in today, whether you're listening on your favorite podcasting platforms or whether you're viewing on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Let's go ahead and jump into our Queen Quote of the Week. Our Queen Quote of the Week is the weekly affirmation that we say to ourselves to keep ourselves going, motivated, and elevated. And our Queen Quote for this week says, "I am special. There is no one exactly like me." If you really think about that for a second, out of all of the billions of people on this planet, there is no one exactly like you. Now, there may be people who would try to emulate you or imitate you, but they can never duplicate you, okay? You are the original, okay? Not a carbon copy. You need to go about your life knowing that and embracing that and not trying to be anyone else other than you, because that other person's spot is already taken, right? So that's the energy you need to have, the main character energy, the one and the only, okay? So let's go ahead and repeat it so you can put it on the tablets of your heart. It says, "I am special. There is no one exactly like me." And that is your Queen Quote of the Week. So for our royal tea time, I have a little bit of a discussion topic to just bring to the forefront, just because it's an ongoing thing. It's nothing new. It's a topic that is talked about so much. And that is going half in a relationship. Do you go half in a relationship, or is one person going to do it all? So and I'm talking specifically for the ladies, for the queens out here, because of the different schools of thought that I'm about to let you know about. So the first school of thought is like, oh, the man should pay for everything. Like, I'm not paying for anything. If we live together, he's paying the rent, he's paying the bills, he's doing this, he's doing that. Like, he needs to pay for everything. When we go out, he needs to pay for everything. That's the first school of thought. The second school of thought is that everything should be split. We go 50-50, period. It's like half on the rent, half on electric, half on the cable, half on the car, half on this, half on that. When we go out, it's half. And then, of course, like the third school of thought, it's just somewhere in the middle. Like, there's things that the man should pay for, but then there's also things that should be split. Now, my opinion, and you do not have to agree, I say this all the time: eat the meat, spit out the bones. Like, you do not have to agree with me. My opinion is that I fall in like the third school of thought, if I'm like really thinking about it, because to me, it really just depends on the situation. I don't feel like there is a specific thing that, like, I don't believe in the school of thought, oh, the man should pay for everything. One, to me, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If you are occupying the same space, you are using up the same resources, why would the man just have to pay for everything? Now, I also don't believe that the man shouldn't pay for anything either, okay? But it also just depends upon how your situation works. Now, and I also think it also depends on if you are married versus dating. That's also a big factor. Or in a monogamous relationship. I think those are all factors that would determine whether the man should be putting up what and how much. So speaking from a married point of view, we split everything. First of all, everything comes into the household, period. So we just split everything. It really doesn't faze us. We've been doing it for so long that it's like second nature. I don't believe my husband should be paying for everything, nor do I believe I should be paying for everything. And based on our current situation now, since we are getting our business off the ground, but he's still working his corporate job while I have taken on the charge of developing and getting the business off the ground, he's making the bulk of the money. So really, he's paying for, really technically, he is paying for everything, but that is just based on our arrangement that we have right now. When we had two incomes, we were splitting that's basically what we did. So that's why I'm speaking from like both ends, and it sounds like, oh, you just flip-flopping. Not really. It's really just being flexible based on your situation. Now, while we were dating, he paid for, at the beginning, he paid for a lot of the dates and things like that. And I even tried to pay, but he was like, nah, don't pay. But as we got deeper and deeper and more monogamous in our relationship and the years went by, that started to be split as well. So that's why I say it's situational. It's a situational, and it's really fact specific, and it's about what you guys come to an agreement. But I don't think there should be an automatic, oh, the man pays for everything. Like, that's not even fair. You know what I mean? Especially, like I said, if you are in the same space, you're taking up the same resources, you're using those resources, but you want the man to pay for everything? No. And even if the paying is not monetarily, it's also with time and labor as well. So if that's the agreement you have, that, oh, he's going to work and he's going to bring in the money or whatever, then you need to pay by doing the household chores, doing the things to keep the household running. So still, it works out. But not one person should just not be delegated to do everything or be expected to do everything. I hope that answered the question from my point of view or my thoughts on it. And I want to know, what do you guys think? Do you think the man should just pay for everything? Do you think things should be split 50-50? Do you think it is situational based on whatever you guys got going on? You let me know in the comments, because I'm interested to know what you guys do or what you do currently. What works for you? Let your girl know. Now you know what time it is. Baby, Your Majesty awaits. It's time for the Majesty Moment. For our Majesty Moment this week, if you read the title of our episode, we are talking about seed time and harvest. I mean, if you're not ready for this conversation, I suggest you just go ahead and just end this podcast right now. Just go ahead. It's all right. It's all right. Pick it up when you are ready. Because what we're talking about is some real life stuff, some things that are applicable in any and every situation, no matter what. Okay. So if you come from a church background or relationship with Christ, you know the phrase seed time and harvest. You always hear seed time and harvest, seed time and harvest. But we need to really break it down and discover what that really means. See, in our society, and I am guilty of it too, I'm in the society, okay? We want everything immediate. We want to see the results quick. As soon as we conceptualize the thought, the idea, whatever, and put it into action, we want to see the manifestation of what we have envisioned right away. I know I'm not the only one who believes this or thinks this, okay? We just want it quick. If we have to wait 30 seconds, what is that? Why are we waiting 30 seconds? Okay. If you are old enough to remember when computers just started coming out and you had to dial up for the internet. Okay. We just talking about the internet. Okay. You had to dial up with the internet. Baby, you was waiting. Okay. You done had to wait for it to connect and do this and this and that. But now we got to the point where we are conditioned. If something doesn't open up in 0.2 seconds, what is going on, right? Yeah. So as the years have progressed, we have lost the concept and the meaning of what seed time and harvest actually means. To just break it down, let's just use the analogy of farming. Now, y'all stay with me, okay? I know some of y'all just went and hit the snooze button, but just stay with me. When it comes to farming, even if you are not a farmer, you understand that with crops, every crop that has been planted started with some type of seed. And the seeds are like, it could be little, could be big, but it's definitely something, the starting phases. So the seed has to be planted in the soil. The seed has to be planted in the soil. If the seed is not planted in the soil, nothing is going to happen. The seed has to get into the soil. After the seed gets into the soil, there has to be something done to unlock the seed, for lack of a better word, to make the seed sprout. And it has to be done on a consistent basis. So once you have the seed in the soil and you're doing whatever you need to do, most of the time it's watering. You watering the seed in the soil on a consistent basis. There is a time where you have to continue to do it and continue to do it and continue to do it until finally, you see the manifestation of what was in that little seed. That produces your crops or your harvest, right? And then even when you start seeing the crops grow, it may not be time yet to collect on that harvest, right? There is a specific time, a specific season where the farmers say, hey, it's now time to collect our harvest. That analogy can be used and demonstrated throughout our lives with everything that we have going on. In everything that we do, there has to be a seed. Anything that you want to come to pass in your life has to be started with a seed. Whatever that seed is, whether it's an idea, whether it's a tangible thing, everything must start with a seed. And then once you have that seed, whatever that seed is for you, you have to plant it. And not only do you have to plant it, but you have to plant it in ground that is suitable and sustainable for that seed to grow. I didn't mention that when I was talking about putting the seed in the soil because I wanted to mention it here because farmers know there's good soil, there's bad soil, there's fertile soil, and there's futile soil. You have to ensure that where you are planting your seed is conducive for the growth and development of that seed. Because you planting a seed in bad soil or soil that's not fertile, you're not going to get anything, no matter how consistent you are, no matter what you're doing, and no matter how hard that you believe is going to happen. It's not going to happen. Your seed has to be planted in good soil. Good soil could be people. It could be situations. It could be anything. but it has to be good and it has to be right. It has to be right for your specific seed. Just for example, if you want bananas to grow, you're not going to place the seed for the banana tree in Antarctica. You're not going to put the banana seed in somewhere that has non-stop snow. That soil will not be conducive for the manifestation of those bananas in that banana tree. So that's what we have to remember in our daily life. Not every soil is good soil for your seed, for your idea, for your investment, for whatever. So now we're talking about time. Time and consistency, they go hand in hand. So as you are watering that seed, doing whatever you need to do to ensure that that seed is going to manifest and to cultivate and to grow, you also have to be preparing as well to reap your harvest. So you can't just sit around, twiddle your thumbs like, yeah, I'm just watering my seed. I'm watering it. Well, what are you doing in the meantime to ensure that you are prepared to receive what that seed is going to produce? If you look at a farmer, when they, have finished, they don't water their crops every day, or they don't water their crops 24/7. They do it on a consistent basis. But in the meantime, they are getting their storehouses ready. They're getting whatever they need to ensure that they are ready to receive the harvest when it's time to pick. So that's what we need to be doing in our lives as well. We just can't sit around twiddling our thumbs thinking, okay, yeah, my seed about to grow. My seed is about to grow. And yet, what are you doing to receive it? What are you doing to be prepared to receive it? So that is the time and the preparation part of it. And then we get to the harvest. But remember what I said in the analogy. Even when you start seeing the manifestations of the seed, it may not be time yet to pick and reap the harvest. Just because you can see what you have manifested doesn't mean that the time is right, that the season is right. Make sense? So you have to wait for the right season to reap your harvest. Even after you starting to see the manifestation of your seed come into play. Okay, your business is getting started, is doing well. You have whatever you got going on. Okay, yeah, school is doing well. Okay, yes, I got this job, or yes, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You still gotta wait. That's still that time. And sometimes the time and the harvest can overlap. Right? So you have to be vigilant and be in tune with how your seed works and know, like, okay, it's only going to be good in this season. So when you finally get to the point where it's time to reap your harvest, it's time. You would take all of the preparation that you have done in that waiting period to collect everything that you have been waiting for up until this point. And that is also how God deals with us. That is how he deals with us. Seed, time, harvest. If you don't have a seed, you call in a seed from God. And whatever that seed may be. Now, we have to be careful because a lot of us confuse our harvest with our seed, or we confuse our seed for our harvest. And that's why the relationship with God is so important, because if you say, Father God, I'm calling in this seed specifically about this XYZ, and he gives that to you, you are supposed to plant that seed. You're not supposed to take it and use it as your harvest. Let's just give a real life example. Let's say you say, Father God, I need $100 to form this business. I'm $100 short. I need $100 to form this business. I'm calling in this seed. Then You're walking, you're going about your day, you're going about your week, and then all of a sudden somebody comes up to you and say, you know what? It was pressed upon my heart to give you this. And you open, and they put something in your hand. And when you look in your hand, it's $100 bill. Nice, crispy $100 bill. But then you say, oh, $100? Oh, yeah, I'm going shopping. Hey, I can finally get some DoorDash. Baby, you are trying to harvest your seed. Like, you didn't even plant it. You forgot all about the seed that you called in. You forgot all about you praying to God, asking to call in this seed of $100. And it was exactly $100. That's how you know. That's how you know something is your seed, because you have to be specific about it. And then when it's given to you, you know this is the seed, because it's the exact amount, or it's the exact thing that you asked for. You have a choice. You have a choice. And a lot of times we liked the instant, right? So we're like, oh, I got $100. Yeah, I'm about to go turn up. Whatever you could do with $100 nowadays, right? So we missed the opportunity to use that $100 to sow into our business, to sow into the business that we prayed to God for, about being $100 short of forming. So that's also another thing that we have to be careful of, especially in this society. So that's the thing about God. You ask for it, it's lined up with his will. It's lined up with his will, because he talks about seed time and harvest all the time. He said he gives seed to the sower. He gives seed to the sower. So, baby, you got to show yourself that you are a sower so he can give you that seed. So when you get that seed, you got to plant it in good ground, right? When you plant it in good ground, you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent. God is not going to give you something like instant, because during that time, that preparation time, it's also preparation for your mind. He's trying to build the tools and skills that you need for when your harvest comes. You're prepared to receive it. And when your harvest comes and you are prepared to receive it, baby, he always gives you more than you need to continue to plant more seeds. Think about a farmer. When the farmer reaps his harvest, the harvest also produces seed to sow again. Man, if you don't know how good God is now, like, that is just an example right there. He not only gives you the harvest, but he gives you more than your harvest, so you can plant more seeds to produce more harvest. Like, come on. Like, that is so wild. That is so wild. But it's up to us. See, God don't change. He don't change. He stay the same. He stays the same. He's not a respecter of person. He is a respecter of principle. So I can call in a seed. You can call in a seed. He, she, they, we can call in a seed. Okay? And he will give it to the sower. It's just amazing. But it's up to us to understand that, one, the seed we call in is not our harvest, but it's just our seed. And two, we need to plant it in good ground and be faithful and be steadfast and continue to be consistent and be prepared for the harvest to manifest. And when that harvest manifests and it's time to collect, and you are collecting your harvest, remember to continue to sow your seeds. Period. Well, I hope that helped. I hope that brought at least something interesting or different, or maybe something new that you didn't realize before or didn't connect before. And if you have gotten to this point in the episode and you're listening on YouTube, please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe for me. And let me know if you're going to implement the seed time and harvest principle. All right, I'm going to get out of here. It's your girl, Melissa. And remember to adjust your crown, walk in your purpose, and always remember who you are. Catch you later. Hey, you guys, it's your girl Melissa, host of Queen Convos, Life Goals for the Queen in You. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard today, please feel free. And matter of fact, go ahead and do your girl a favor and like, comment, subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please go ahead and rate and review. I love you guys so much for listening, and I will see you later.